10 million zombies are currently death charging forward. Their numbers have grown and grown until they rank in the tens of millions outside of humanity's final fortress defense. It's the medieval times, and every culture and kingdom across Earth has come together to defend. They've been pushed out of their homelands, and this is the last straw. A mountain-backed fortress. We're talking the French, the English, the Japanese with their samurai, the Mongolians, catapults, as well as many other nations such as Celtic warriors, Saxons, Romans, and more. And the zombies begin to make contact, charging in to the medieval soldiers here. Will the medieval troopers be able to withstand the hordes of zombies that are going to be coming at them? And it is not just standard Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 zombies today. It is also going to be burned zombies, monster zombies, alien zombies, and more disgusting creatures. Meaning there's going to be different power levels for each of them. Over here on the flanks, the two bridges on the left and right, we have fast zombies. And down center is going to be the most concentrated number of zombies that are coming forward. The heavy knights are on the right bridge over that way. The French men-at-arms are down middle over here. And then we have English knights on the far left that we saw at the beginning. They are already getting collided with the zombies, but let's watch as the zombies begin to death charge into the French bridge defense over here. They begin by surrounding the Frenchmen and dealing damage on their flanks, which is a very good idea. It will weaken the corners, and that is the most vulnerable area of the French defense here. Of course, they won't be able to flank for long because we do have Frenchmen on the bridge where there is no flank possibility, and they'll be backed up by catapults over here, which will be great. Now, zombies can create body piles in the water and make their own bridges. It's going to take a while, but I almost guarantee it will happen. So we have about 30,000 Mongolian soldiers on free move mode, meaning when any enemy comes close enough, they will run out against them. It's an extra protection for the flanks over here in case zombies end up coming through their own body bridges in the rivers. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. But right now, the first tendrils of the zombie apocalypse are reaching the front lines, and the medieval troops are doing their best to try and defend. Now, this is, of course, just the exterior defenders out here. We've also got our interior defenses back here. There are a few entrance points to the castle fortress back this way, so we've got some Templar knights over here. Then over this way, we've got Roman centurion soldiers. We got some Celtic warriors over here. On this far side, we've got some British boys, some English boys. Back here, we have some Saxons, and then the final line will be the archers, who hopefully will be able to be firing the entire time the castle is actually getting breached. That's why they are the final line of defense for the medieval troopers. But hopefully they won't have to come into play for a while, as the exterior defenses here are quite strong and numerous. In the grand scheme of this battle, we have just under 500,000 of the medieval units on the battlefield, and just under 10 million zombies on the battlefield. Medieval soldiers, of course, tend to have, on average, more health than the zombies, as well as higher damage, so we're hoping they can get multiple kills per soldier, but on top of that, I think the catapults and the archers having ranged damage will really kick things up a notch. But in the early hours of this battle, the beginning portion is going to be a little bit rough for the medieval soldiers. I don't think we'll start to see them really kicking it up a notch and getting tons of kills until the catapults come into play on these front bridges. I think that's when we'll really start to see some serious damage, and we do have a breach in the river. Zombies have begun their charge across, and actually quite a number have survived going across. Usually they drown, but maybe it's not a long enough river. Not all of them are following lead though, which is a very good thing. So only a few scrappy zombies are crossing the river from underwater there. And I think we'll start to see the Mongolians reacting. A few Mongolians are charging off this way as some of these zombies start to get close enough to kind of activate their guard mode there. So they're going to hopefully white knight the white knights over this way. And then these guys are, I think, yeah, gonna go up against the river crossers over here. They shouldn't be too problematic for the Mongolian soldiers. They should be able to take them down fairly easily, I would think, hopefully. Now, we're still only seeing kind of the easiest of the zombies that need to be stopped. In the back here, we will start to see more of those deformed zombies and monstrous zombies. Here's some spearman zombies over here. So, you know, we'll start to see some of the heavier hitters as the battle goes on. So maybe the zombies will even begin to rank up during this battle and cause some serious strife that way. We do have more flanking zombies over here, and the Mongolians are nowhere to be seen. Boys, run on forward. Oh, here we go. Over here on the left side, they are coming forward. We've also got catapult shots going out. That is a ton of zombies. Wow. Okay, the left side is tweaking right now. That is so many zombies crossing over the river over here. Meanwhile, this side has like a tiny trickle. Over here, it is thousands of zombies. I am very glad these Mongolians are over this way. They slaughter a very solid group over here. Catapults firing away as well. But without these Mongolians, our bridge defenders would be at great risk of flanking. So it's a very good thing these guys are actually moving out to meet this threat and hopefully take care of it before they can really flank these guys. I want these guys to get a full solid bridge defense without having to worry about a flank, because that will result in a ton of kills for us. We got fighting in the water. In the water's edge over here, we got some fighting going on. It's gonna be brutal. But yeah, since this is a mainly melee versus melee battle, this thing could last a serious amount of time. So I'm starting recording around 5 p.m. and I'm guessing my computer will likely have to be on until tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try and do as much time-lapsing as we possibly can, but when I go to sleep, we'll probably have to skip a few hours ahead and see what happens then, because my memory storage will not last for 12 hours. No siree, that would just not happen. So over here, the French men-at-arms are doing a nice job defending. They are some pretty tough cookies right there. They are getting flanked, which makes it harder, but as you can see, the very front is doing very solid. It is those corners and edges that are doing way worse. That's why you never want to get flanked by a zombie, baby. Alright, over on this right side, the Mongolians are dealing just fine. It's gone up from more than just a small trickle of zombies coming forward over this way. It is a much larger death charge forward. Some of these guys just kind of stopped. They were like, I don't really feel like running the rest of the way. And the heavy knights over here are still also doing quite well, so that is good to see. Yeah, this over here is quite intimidating to me. That is a lot of zombies coming forward. Mongolians are taking care of them. You can see them swarming some last remaining zombies over this way. But still, I mean, they do have some backup troopers back here, which is great. And the catapults got a solid number of kills, it looks like. But that's a lot of zombies to deal with for a simple flank, so that does make me quite a bit worried. Why don't we do our first time-lapse over here, watching the Mongolians meet the zombie threat. This should be a pretty cool over-the-top time-lapse for a bit. Well, the zombies obliterate through those boyos, but it's okay. The catapults are still safe for now because we have Japanese samurai back here ready to defend. Feudal Japan never upset, so Hopefully they can protect these catapults for a good solid chunk of time. Only 1 or 2 were killed over here. Also some Mongolians still over here, so those guys will help to protect as well. The flanks of these guys are getting eaten into a little bit, but it's not as bad as it could be, that's for sure. They are up to the bridge itself here, and then actually some are flanking on the far left now also, so that does suck. The bridge defense is going to have a tough time over there. Over here, the Frenchmen are dealing a little bit better. They've got a little spear of Frenchmen, the ones at the tip, just the tip, dying pretty badly, so that's sus. And then over here, we've got more Mongolians still defending. These guys actually held out, whereas the left side didn't as much. So these guys are still doing well. They've got catapult supporting fire over here. Again, there are still some samurai over that way, and we actually do have flankers on this side now interacting with some of these Frenchmen within the water. Brutal. Not good. Not good at all. Hate to see. And we got those big boy cannonballs hitting over this way. That's rough too. That's rough too. Let's watch these guys up close with the catapults firing in. I think that'll be pretty sweet to see. We've got 352,000 remaining medieval units and 8.5 million remaining zombies. Way worse. Alright, the front over here is holding out actually better than I expected. They're getting a decent return on their catapult shots and their Frenchmen, although they are getting beaten back. So we're pretty used to, I feel at this point, the ranged units being heavily present in these battles. We've been doing a lot of modern US stuff and things like that. So this is definitely a change of pace, seeing medieval soldiers doing melee combat on a melee unit. It's gonna be different, you know. We got to take the small victories. Not every single little battle is going to be a holdout. We're gonna see a lot of death here. I like how the Mongolians are kind of wormed in here now, so they're gonna pack a punch still for a good amount of time. I don't see any here. The farthest one seems to have pushed his way up here. My man! Unless someone crested over the bridge, but I doubt it. These guys still holding out decently. They got a small little pillar going. These guys also doing decent, but then this bridge not too good. It's not good. Not good. Look at this. Despicable. These heavy knights have done terribly. You guys, come on. Hold better. Let's watch these guys. We'll watch them lose their bridge, essentially. And the bridge falls officially. These guys are done. So a huge zombie horde is heading straight into English spearmen up here. We should be getting some archer support relatively soon. They've got decent range. They're not firing yet, but I'm hoping once they cross this threshold, they will be firing. It'll also be interesting because the zombies do have to clear up these bridge choke points up on the rampart, so that'll be cool to see as well. The catapults are going full swing now, which is great to see, and some firing in the middle over here, but what we really want to see is these guys on the bridge getting hit by catapults, because that means that this could slow down the zombie approach in the middle. That would be really, really great. I guess it is pretty slow right now, though, so that is good. The Japanese soldiers over here are doing great. They have 500 health apiece, but I feel like they're doing so much better than the Mongolians. Mongolians only have 150, that's why. Okay, Mongolians are a vanilla unit, whereas a lot of the other units in this battle are non-vanilla. They are modded units, so sometimes the modded units do have a little bit more health. Sometimes they have less. It really all depends. The right side, once again, still doing quite well, and the Mongolians over this way have pushed way farther out. I am a little bit worried about over here, though. Yeah, this is a yikes. The knights are kind of almost donezo in the middle, and actually we have zombies now heading upwards towards the Knights Templar over here. I know these are good units, right? They have like a nope, 500 health. Okay, they're pretty good. They're about samurai level, I'd say then, but they don't have that support of the catapults, so that could lead to some more damage. But they do have the archers back here once again, so maybe as they get closer they'll do pretty well that way. We still have 287,000 medieval soldiers on the battlefield, as well as 8.3 million zombies on the battlefield. We need to start seeing some lockdowns now. You know, some of the front lines are ending. We need to start seeing some real schmoves, especially in the middle from the catapults. We need the catapults to get a lot of kills. So why don't we watch a bird's eye view over here. Samurai starting to have some issues. They are getting heavily flanked, and that's resulting in a lot more losses for them. The French still destroying up here, and the catapults are taking losses as well, but at least they're still around, I suppose. Let's check on these flanks. Okay, so this is not good. I don't see any arrows firing. You guys can't fire from this range? They're right. Just fire. Just shoot an arrow, brother. That's not good. That is a no bueno. How about over here? Uh-oh. The English are also in some serious trouble over here. We do have arrow fire this way, but like this is bad. Okay. Maybe the medieval units were not up for this because they are getting thrashed. At least the Romans are doing decent. I think the Romans are one of the better units in terms of damage. They can really pack a wallop, as we've seen against the modern U.S. Army soldiers. Still, the front entrance is not seeing any action, but that's because these guys over here. All right, this is rough though. This is real bad. It is not gonna be good. We need something to happen here. Let's watch the English over this way, and hopefully some of these archers can deal with some of these zombies, I guess. Actually, there's not even that many zombies over here right now. They're all over here. Okay, never mind. There's a lot. All right, yeah. Let's watch over here. Oh, guys, this might be a disaster in the making here. We might have to run it back afterwards and lock everyone in the keep as a... Oops, did not mean to put down a marker. Oopsie. I'll put one way out there so it gets rid of that big ugly green marker. Doesn't do anything, unless you have units selected, of course. But the French are about to die off. They're almost gone. Samurai is still doing decent. The catapults also, you know, still out here getting some good fire in. But 7.6 million zombies remain, and only 170,000 medieval units remain. I mean, we still have the interior, which is good, but this is looking rough. How many? Okay, these guys have 550 health, so they're like decently powerful. They're pretty good. Templar Knights over here dying out. Oh, that's not good. No siree, Bob, brother. Having a bad time. The archers firing. They should be. Yeah, they are good. Okay. Hopefully these archers can get some serious kills, because that's what we need to be seeing. Serious kills, boys. Serious kills. Or else we're cooked. We're absolutely cooked. I am not sure if this is winnable for the medieval armies, but we'll keep her going. Of course, we'll keep her going. Let's watch these Templar Knights here. Absolutely cooked. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Oh god, it's Jover, isn't it? It's Jover. The archers are all dead, save for a few that are up here with the Saxons. I guess that's good. There's flanks going on here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to bring this one back and retreat the medieval armies back to the keep, but we'll let this first... For maybe half of the army was hiding in the walls, you know? And so this is the army that was on the outside of the walls. There wasn't room for them, so they're fighting to the death. And then the zombies, they'll kill them all, they'll eat them all, and then it'll be like, okay, well, now what do we do? And they start sauntering off, and then bada bing! Another army comes from out of the walls. That's the lore. The Lorax. Yeah. he speaks for the trees. But yeah, this is pretty much over. Why don't we watch this? We can see the fortress wall, inner wall here, fighting for its life, and the Romans out there also fighting for their lives, but it's not looking good at all. Alright, there's still 1,600 soldiers for the medieval units alive somewhere. They're the guys on top of these little towers. The zombies have to glitch their way up, so they're very slow to actually get up there. Looks like they cleared this one. No one here, no one here. A few guys here, and they're not getting attacked at all. So there's only 1,500 remaining. They're all in those towers. They're going to die extremely slowly, so let's have the boys come out of the walls and support them. The zombies are going to get some reinforcements too. 7 million zombies ended up remaining, 0 medieval units, so medieval units ended up getting around 3 million kills, which really wasn't enough. Let's see what we can do for them. The retreat to the keep has happened and they've come out of the walls. Now let's boogie. Kind of the same setup. I did give them some more catapults because I really felt like they needed just a bit more oomph. On top of that, we're obviously a lot more consolidated back here, so I'm hoping that plays a factor. The Mongolians are also not on guard mode anymore. They're going to stay within the keep. And we are dealing with the exact same zombie army as before, in the same order. I haven't moved them in the slightest. Looks like the first of the zombies are going to be coming in on the far left side over here where the heavy knights are. My cat is licking my bowl. Okay, there we go. I took the spoon out of it, so it's no longer going to make cling-clang noises. But yeah, the zombies coming straight into some of these heavy knights over this way. Now, I do expect these territories to fall rather quickly, but I think we'll have better catapult fire, and on top of that, there's a lot more people actually inside the fortress itself, and I also spread out the archers more, so there's more spacing between them, so they reach closer over this way, so more of them will be firing during the actual melee fighting, which I think will make a huge difference. We also have a lot more double stacks of troopers, like over here, the Japanese samurai and the crusader knights together. I think double stacking like that makes them a lot harder to kill. Alright, so then we've got the French knights over here fighting it out. And we do have arrows coming in from inside now, so that's really nice to see. We'll get at least a little bit of damage against these guys, making it easier for them to kill. Arrows, they don't do a ton of damage in this. Wow, look how deep some of these runner zombies are getting in there. That's crazy. Very World War Z looking. These guys are speedy. But yeah, I mean, the arrows are more about weakening the zombies, so that way the melee units can get more kills on average than if they didn't have that arrow support. Then we've got dead mid over this way, which just now the zombies are reaching the front over here, and we're going to have some of those Romans that got pushed out of the fortress. I'm sorry, boys. I didn't mean to push you all out of the fortress, but someone had to be on the front lines, and last time you were in the back line, so this time you gotta pay the piper. You gotta be out front here, swinging at some zombies and giving it your all. No catapult supporting fire yet. They're not that far away. Can you guys really not fire yet? Okay, well, I'm hoping soon enough. those catapults will start firing. But you can see zombies spreading out along here, and wow, there's a lot in there. It's those runner zombies, man. I think the middle is the point that doesn't have the runner zombies, so that's why there's so few in the middle compared to the edges. But yeah, right now those runner zombies are swarming and getting a lot of kills on these Frenchmen. That is brutal right here. Let's actually watch. This is going to be a sick overhead time lapse. Alright, well, we got to see some serious zombie charging in there, and they've made a dent in the French army right now, as well as over here, the samurai getting beat up, but we got those double stacks over here, so I'm hoping these can hold the gates for a decent amount of time. We've also got some angry bees coming in, aka arrows, slamming into the wall of zombies over that way. Same story, hopefully, over here. Similar story, but these zombies are doing a little bit better. We do got those arrows coming in, though, but not the double stack, and also kind of a weaker unit over here, so I don't love that for us. But we will have a bit more of a double stack over here, which will be good. Over this way, zombies pushing through, making some headway. But the front line is still holding pretty nicely. Catapults, do have some fire over here. Arching out this way, that's good to see. Love that. Yeah, baby. I'm hoping for lots of kills from them. And over this way should be a similar story. They're kind of just hitting the wall. Well, that's not very helpful, guys. I'll be honest with you. Romans doing a nice job out here. We're at 458,000 medieval units remaining and 7.7 million zombies. Let's time lapse for a while here. The Romans, honestly, holding very well. Look at this body pile they've built. They're kind of giga chads, bro. Still, these catapults not firing, but these ones are having a field day over here. Look at this. The number of exploding zombies over here is crazy. How's the other side doing? Very similar story. But over here, hey, the Japanese and Templar Knights are holding really well over here. Big body pile going over this way. And the other side, still not doing as well, but that's alright. That was kind of to be expected, I suppose. Why don't we watch the catapults working some of their magic over here. We've got 408,000 remaining medieval troopers, as well as 6.7 million remaining zombies. I'll probably do one more time lapse and then go to bed, since it's midnight now. These battles last a long time. And then we'll see what happened in the morning. But let's keep her going. Oh, they are breaching through here pretty massively. Ooh, that's rough. We're going to see, I think, a lot more dead catapults, which is not good. Romans still holding very strong up front here. Similar situation over here. These guys are still holding great. The Japan Templar Knight duo is incredible. But then the archers back here starting to get diced up a little bit, but there are Mongolians back here with them, so that's good. At least they've got some melee defense going for them. What we're going to do is go in slow-mo here, and then I'll see it. I'll get up in the morning and we can see what happened, but sometimes you can get away with going in slow-mo and then less time technically passes in-game. Either the battle will be over or it will still be going, but it's super late, so I'm going to go to bed now. 321,000 medieval army units remaining, 5.78 million zombies remaining. Well, boys, it's the next morning, and it appears as those zombies, they've won again. RIP. We still do have some defenders on the walls itself, holding out, but the zombies have to glitch their way up to fight them. But there's still 3.7 million zombies. Didn't mean to put a marker right there. Okay. Let's get reinforcements. I want to see a victory. We're just going to ball out. It's a little bit more laggy, but yes, we balled out basically. We've got, let's see, 1.0 lag, holy lag, 1.3 million medieval defenders out this way, and the same amount of zombies coming from over there. We just increased the number of defenders exponentially across all of the armies, so there's just more, all defending the gate here. This is what the the Game of Thrones White Walker invasion should have been. Let's be honest. This is exactly that. It'll be epic. All right, here we go. They're almost here. It's taken a minute. They're zombies. They're not the fastest. But we've got archers frontlining here, which is definitely not going to go very well. They just kind of spilled out the front of the Roman centurions. So, I mean, they're in the Roman centurions as well, so they'll be able to hold there. But these frontliners, they're going to get wiped pretty quick. I think the corners might already be fighting. Yep. Corners already got zombies hitting them, and these archers are getting squashed. But they're getting some kills, so that's good. But let's go back to this area and watch as these zombies come on in. Archers begin to fire away. They are absolutely pouring arrows into those zombies, but still very few zombies actually dropping from them. There we go. Now they're starting to drop from them. That's the thing. Arrows in this, they're just not that powerful. They're not going to get the job done. But they're great backup supporting fire. That's the big thing with them. Same with the catapults. They're not the most powerful thing, but they're great at supporting fire, especially against a very large zombie horde coming forward like this one. Either way, they're managing to actually hold back the zombies decently with the arrow fire. Only a few are getting swings and kills and stuff like that against the archers, so it's not all horrible just yet. Look at this. Glorious. Glorious. Why don't we go ahead and do an overhead time lapse of this, because this looks honestly absolutely freaking awesome, bro. This looks incredible. I love this. This is, yeah, heck yeah, boy. Okay, zombies have made a dent here. We've got 1.23 million defenders remaining and 7.14 zombies remaining. Now, they're holding pretty decently out here. The corners, again, having a bit of trouble. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to win this. I don't know if they're going to lose this. It's one of those ones that we're just going to have to wait and see. You know, it's a progressive one. We're going to have to wait and see. Let's do a big ol' overhead time lapse here for a while to check it out, because I think this will look actually pretty freaking awesome, bro. As all the zombies come on in from the different sides. I think this will be a pretty dope one. Be sure to check out the numbers at the top right as the time lapse goes on to see the kill count. One of my cats pointed the camera upwards. God dang it. But the zombies, I don't know when he did that, but hopefully it wasn't too late. The zombies are winning again. There's 17,000 remaining defenders, which is actually a decent amount, versus 1.1 million zombies. So at the very least, the zombies are getting beat up, you know? It seems like most of them are able to get up here and attack. We'll keep this going because the defenders actually have numbers, and there's only 1 million zombies left, so they're not doing bad. So let's watch this corner here with the catapults, archers, and swordsmen all fighting the zombies. Well, all these fellas died, and now only 5,000 knights remain. There's some over here. Let's watch them. Alright, it's been another 30 minutes, and the zombies are still coming up here. It is very slow going, but let's continue to let it ride. I'm gonna not time-lapse for a bit here, though, because we are using up a ton of memory, so we'll just let it ride. Alright, guys, another half an hour has gone by here, and it looks like there's only 10 medieval units left alive. I don't even know where they're at, though. All of these ended up getting washed. Rip the dream, but only 1 million zombies remain out of the 10 mil, so they did pretty darn good this time, but still, medieval units, they just don't hold up against the zombie apocalypse. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.